And I want to wish good afternoon for online people. According to my information, there is about 100 people from 16 countries, the farthest away from Singapore. So Bruce, I don't want to compete with you, but Singapore and Australia pretty far away from slushy Helsinki. So I'm so proud to be in front of you today, and especially in front of a lot of writers of the new AI guide for teachers. And before I go any further, I would like to ask Pasi, Tarmo, Miikka, Minna, and to stand up, because we have among us the writers, and Pipsa is there too. So I want to give applause for these writers. We have also Esa, who is having the film camera, who is, he and his wife are behind the layout of this book. So thanks, Esa, for wonderful layout. So why Faktabaari is interested in AI, and why we do a booklet of it. So this week, academic paper was published, a case study on our first guide, which is the Digital Information Literacy Guide, which was published in 2022, so 2.5 years ago. And they went it through, and they analyzed it, and in the abstract, it was a negative remark that the Digital Information Literacy Guide doesn't say anything on AI. So we are hitting back. Here is it, 80 pages of full information. The Finnish version is printed and available, and if you want to have a copy, there are plenty of copies available. The Swedish version is in the translation, and it will come later on. And the English version is already translated, but it's not yet totally proofread and layout. So it will come quite soon. And today we have also published a link where you can find if you go to that, you can find the PDF version, and also in the future the different language version of the guide. So we had in total 10 writers. Why we decided to ask the best experts in Finland to participate is because in Faktabaari we don't have all the wisdom. And it's fact checkers' basic principles that we are always asking experts and people who are specialists in certain areas to contribute. And for our big pleasure, people have been responsive, and I have to say that the writers who are here today and the ones who are home listening to this have contributed without any fee. So I'm appreciating your contribution really a lot. We are all believing that this is an important thing. So the aim of the, I have not chosen that font, but the aim of this guide is to give education providers. In Finland we have, for example, about over 300 communes who are in charge of the education of the communes. Teachers and learners, basic information about AI, its capabilities, limitations, ethical challenges, benefits, misuse, AI pedagogy, and AI literacy. As you can see, we have 21 articles, and they are all looking at AI from the different angle. If you are kind of nerds who are really interested on the really technical side of AI, this will be a disappointment. We are interested on the pedagogical view of AI. How is it linked to the education? So, why? Faktabaari, and for example, me, I've been training a lot of teachers in the past years in Finland and also quite a lot abroad. And I've been asking in these trainings teachers on how do they feel with AI. And this is, for example, a training we had last November in Avi in Finland, and to ask 100 teachers who were participating, do you think that you have enough information to use AI in the classroom? And 0. Out of 100 Finnish teachers, 0 told that they have a basic skills. Most of them, additional training is needed, and significant additional training is needed. And 25% of the teachers were totally out. I mean, basic skills are completely missing. At the same time, our students, our youngsters, they are using AI-based tools every day. And I'm afraid that this digital gap between the teachers and students might create some kind of tensions and problems. So, I ask also, this is a very big training. We had 331 answers from teachers of all over Europe. Do you use AI in the classroom or in the school? And 6% of the teachers said, yes, we do. 60% sometimes, and 36% never. And I would say that this is, wherever you make these polls, you get more or less similar type of results. And this is a little peek to our local municipalities here in Finland. I asked in the Finnish training that how necessary do you think the Finnish National Board for Education recommendations on the use of AI are? And very necessary, 70%, 28% necessary. And these are coming, and we will probably hear a little bit of, and now we have also something on consultation. But the waiting time has been quite long. So, what is the AI in education governance? For our big surprise, UNESCO, UNICEF, OECD, European Commission, and many more international global organizations have published different types of frameworks and kind of telling that AI should be taught, one should be careful on ethics. Each organization is having their own set of kind of frameworks and guidelines. And it's very easy to do it in the upper level. You can say that teachers in the world do this. What is really difficult is the next level, which is the level of ministries of education. And I'm working in a EU agency where my work is to follow what happens on the digital education in 27 EU countries. And I have to say that Finland is not at all in the late train on that. It's the problem all over Europe. We are very late in giving instructions to the education providers and teachers. Why is that? I come to that later on. And then we have school providers who have a, huge responsibility. Which digital tools we use in the school, which digital materials I buy, which tech, which software, which licenses, how can I train the colleagues? Can I be sure that they are respecting the copyright laws or privacy laws in Europe? And the education providers have actually quite a huge responsibility at this moment. And then we have teachers who are in between this kind of pressure from the common pressure that, yes, you should do something on AI in the schools. There are upper level recommendations, and yet the kind of local instructions are missing. And what is most important, local training, teacher training. And now we come to on the bottom, which are us, NGOs. And according to us, our role is to support teachers and students and individuals by providing people factual, understandable information, background information on AI, so that people can at least read something and get some information. So in Europe we are also blessed, and I really, this is not irony, I think that AI Act is an important act. And when I've been following the discussions during the week, what happens in US and what happens in Europe, I'm really feeling protected by that we have some regulations still available. And the AI Act has a quote that it's important to promote high quality digital education and training, to allow learners and teachers to acquire and share the necessary digital skills and competencies, including media literacy, critical thinking, to take active part in the economy, society, and democratic processes. We couldn't agree more. In the real life, it's a little bit more problematic, because the AI Act is entering fully in force only next year, and there is a lot of interpretation still in the air how education as a high-risk area will be dealt with. So, teachers are now in the kind of situation that we thought that it's a good moment to give them some support, and that's why we have been providing this information. So, this is Tarmo's quote. The responsibility for AI solutions in education lies with the institution, not the teacher. On the other hand, organizations are obliged to ensure their employees are AI literate. The educational institute must therefore train its teachers to work responsibly with AI systems. And I think this is what we really would like to urge. There is a need of massive teacher training, updating the teacher information. We cannot just throw teachers in the cold water and say, swim. We have to provide them necessary information and competencies. So, what is the pedagogical perspective on AI? So first of all, in the guide we try to explain what AI is and how does it work. And it's not only generative AI, but AI in general. But we are concentrating very much in several articles on generative AI. So AI as a subject of learning, which we don't do much in Finland. I have been a lot of contact with our US colleagues, and they are doing much more training with their students with the computational thinking, coding and things like that, which helps you to understand the functioning of AI better. We don't have it enough in Finland. Then, how AI can be used in a responsible and ethical way to support teaching and promote learning. So AI should not be only a gadget, that this is fun thing, but it should be used to something which is adding value. It's giving students something more than they wouldn't get without AI. And then how AI is changing society. The social impact of AI in the labor market, knowledge management, environment, communication, future professions. And I think the students who are thinking of their future studies and future orientations would highly benefit on AI competencies and AI information. And then there is also the challenges of AI. Why is it important to be quite critical and healthy critical approach to AI, Gen A outputs in general? I don't go now to the lack of time, but I've been working with different organizations which are developing kind of what AI literacy is, and it's still kind of developing. Every month there is a new, better definition, and this is a very new thing. The first mention of AI literacy comes from 2016. But the point is that it's important to know what is the AI and GenAI, know how it works, and what is the ethical and societal impacts, and know why it's important to engage with it, and why it's important to be, let's say, ethically critical. So, ethics of AI. I'm using this thing done with the AI tool called Napkin. One of what we preach is that when you are using AI, you should be open about it and tell how we have done it and what is the tool we have been using it. So, human agency. It sounds a little bit strange, but actually AI is, first of all the coding, all the algorithms are done by man or woman. It's a human thing. The material which has been used schooling the large language models, they are created by human beings so far. The AI platforms or systems, they have been designed by humans. When you are entering, for example, generative AI, a prompt or question, you are influencing on what is coming out. And when you get the result, whatever it is, it's once again you have to decide if it's useful, is it correct, is it accurate. So the human involvement is there in every phase. So it's kind of less intelligent than we think. Humans are in between everywhere. And we should keep it that way. So never let AI to take over. Transparency. As a copyright person, we know that AI, large language models, are trained with a lot of material and nobody knows exactly what. So it's not very transparent. We don't know how the algorithms work. It's not very transparent. And actually there are a lot of things we don't know, even the best specialist. And sometimes the big CEOs of the AI companies are asked, do you know what has been used to train your system? They said, how could I know? Because it's not very transparent. But transparent is also in the decision making. When we get the output from AI, we should be transparent that this is proposed by AI and take a human action on it. Diversity and equity, non-discrimination, the biases. About 90% of the materials, this is based on, I think it was UNESCO study, are coming from USA, and it's English-speaking materials. And the smaller is the language or the population or a culture or whatever, and the less they have digital footprints, the less they are present in the AI, especially large language models. So it creates a bias. Privacy is a problem, especially for us in Europe. We actually have very few platforms which are respecting the European privacy regulations. Who is accountable? AI is not accountable. When you are giving a prompt, you get an answer. It has no responsibility. The responsibility is on our users, how to use the thing you are getting out of there. Also, the developers, they have been washing their hands, especially in the last 5 days, on responsibilities. We are not playing God. We don't decide what is right or wrong. We don't want to censorship. We don't have to moderate. Fact checkers out. This is what we have heard recently. Safety and security, but also the social and environmental well-being. Aki, who is not here yet, but who is written part, has something about the environment. And also this social sustainable development is an important issue. So all these issues are about AI. And what are the risks for the education? We have data protection issues. If a teacher takes the copy with the name of an address and the birth date of the student and puts it in the machine to kind of feed it to the AI, you will never get it back. It's there. We don't know how the data is handled. We don't know where it goes. And we don't know where it's popping up. Security issues, we are not really trained, most of us, on possible data breaches. The teacher trainings, I've already mentioned that it's totally not enough. Guidance, there is a little bit more guidance, especially the universities have been doing a good work on that. But most of the educational institutions schools don't have clear guidance on what to use, how to use, when to use, and how to report on that. The limited critical thinking, the problem with these publications is that just when you get it out from your hands, there is a new study which shows that there is something new, interesting. And I saw a study this week which says that the students, it was quite a big sample, that the students who are using a lot AI are kind of not using their cognitive capacity as much as those ones who don't use it. So it kind of creates academic laziness. Why to struggle if you can put machine to do the thing? And the lack of transparency, what I have mentioned already. I'm going to go a little bit quick, but AI is everywhere. It's in the cars, navigation systems, your fridge, your washing machine might have AI, your vacuum hoover going around, robot probably having a quite interesting AI in it. But what is really worrying is that, and we have a good article from Harto Pönkä here, about that the platforms like Facebook, Instagram, etc., are using more and more AI-powered personalized recommendation algorithms. And if you have noticed, if you are into Facebook, I think we are all in the age of Facebook, except maybe you. In the past, I used to get a lot of kind of feeds coming from my friends. And either my feeds have stopped using Facebook, but I get now much more advertisement, much more content coming from I don't know where. And actually, according to studies, the amount of real feeds from real people are getting slower or more smaller. And there is this tendency to put more advertisement, more commercial things to the people. So our guide also gives practical tools. This one is really practical. When generative AI came, teachers were angry to students who were using, it's called academic cheating, that they did their essays with AI, and suddenly the students who were not so brilliant gave us absolutely flawless results. And it has been discussion among the teachers all the time. And this AI assessment scale, which comes from the researchers from Leon Furtse, has been taking the world now very quickly. It has been translated now in 19 languages, and it's kind of common goal with the language between students and teachers. So when teacher says, in this exercise, no AI is used, it's clear. Or in this exam, AI is not used. In other tasks or assignments, AI can be used for planning, or it can be used for collaboration. And then there are these full open AI cases, and then even the cases where AI is kind of use AI and be creative and create something to solve tasks. And if you have this common agreement between students and teachers, it's maybe easier to kind of cope in complicated situations. So, but Pasi is here, so I'm quoting his. In schools, AI cannot only be treated as a new technology, but as a force affecting democracy and freedom of expression in societies. It should not be seen as a tool for automated censorship, hybrid influence, and information production. And the key challenge is to equip learners with critical thinking, problem solving, source criticism, and creativity, skills related to the use of AI. So this is where our digital information literacy and Faktabaari mission comes into surface. This is exactly where we want to do that, because we see that AI used for different types of purposes which are not so correct. Pipsa has written a big article about deep fakes, voice fakes. AI can be used to influence us. There are many other things where we need critical thinking more than ever before. And this is a positive thing that in Finland and in most of the countries there have been Australia, oi, what you are doing there. There is a discussion if students should be banned to use mobile phones. And personally, I'm in the opinion that very young children should not have these kind of tools. But at the same time, the task and the mission of the school is to provide students and pupils with the skills so that they can learn how to use the devices once they get it. And you don't learn digital skills in vacuum, and that's why it's important that the teachers are kind of trying in a safe environment new tools, teaching critical thinking, analyzing the content together with the children and students, discussing security issues, safety issues, addressing ethical issues, having also these positive attitudes of encouraging creativity and innovation. We have been also providing kind of guides for students on what could one do, check the rules, be critical, be honest, follow instructions, protect privacy, be careful, ask for help, and help others. And now I would like to give some positive comments for the Finnish National Board for Education and Finnish Ministry of Education. These recommendations were put on the consultation, I think this week or in the end of last week. And the deadline for comments, and if you are interested, please comment, 7th of February. And I think that the recommendations for education providers are excellent. So to use AI when it's pedagogically justified, provide appropriate training for the teachers. The AI use must be open and transparent, and the procurement and deployment process should be kind of clear guidance for users, and also reminding about the possible bias in the system. And there is the risk of over-reliant use without critical evaluation. So I would like to support from Faktabaari point of view these recommendations. We have also in the instructions on data protection for students. I don't have time to go much, but this is the kind of important question. So we are educating young children, young students, and what kind of information knowledge will learners need in a society, in the workplaces in the future? We know that AI is there, is coming, and it's coming further. And how we have to change our teaching to enable learners to acquire the skills required in this age of artificial intelligence. And I end by quoting Jarmo's old text, because you have written this, I saw it in your presentation once. So generative AI, I mean, if you are talking with them, I mean, chat box, they sound like a human, they sometimes behave like a human, but nevertheless, they don't understand the meaning of the words. The function is based on the computational predictions. They have no opinions, they give no valuations, they don't think, they don't predict anything, they don't feel, they don't care, they don't take any responsibility, and they are good in hallucinating. So, if you want to read more, here is the guide, and the English version and Swedish version are coming up. Thank you.
Thank you, Kari.